When God is silent, faith that grows in darkness. Introduction. There are times when, in the midst of prayer, we feel as if our voice is getting lost in the void, as if God has distanced himself from us. Silence is disconcerting. When we expect answers and don't receive them, the doubt arises. Has God forgotten me? And it is at this moment that one of the deepest questions of our faith is born. Why is God silent? In this video, we will explore how God's silence is not an absence of care, but an important part of a greater divine plan. We will reflect on how, in the darkness, our faith can grow, deepen, and transform into something even more powerful. This is the moment to look at the silence and realize that it has a purpose. Silence is not abandonment. Many of us have gone through moments when we feel the absence of God. These are periods of anguish, when it seems that our prayers, they fall into a silent abyss. But the truth we need to understand is that, often, God's silence doesn't mean he has abandoned us, but that he is working in us in a deeper way. Remember Job, who lost everything: his family, his possessions, his health. He cried out for an answer, but God remained silent. Even so, Job maintained his faith. True faith, like Job's, is not built only in moments of quick response, but in moments of silence. Silence is a pause in time, an interval in which God prepares the human heart for what is to come. God is more present in silence than we can imagine. What you don't see is that he is molding you for something greater. The preparation of the soul. God's silence is not just a pause, but an opportunity for inner growth. He allows us to go through this waiting period so that our soul may be prepared for what is to come. It is in silence that we can reflect, process our feelings and emotions, and strengthen our trust. Just as a tree needs deep roots to withstand storms, we too need a solid foundation of faith to withstand adversity. During periods of silence, God is not distant. He is, in fact, teaching us to trust in what we cannot see. This is what strengthens our soul and prepares us for the mission he has for us. God uses silence as a tool for preparation. He is planting the seeds of his promise in your heart, even if you don't realize it. The waiting process. Waiting is not easy. We all desire an immediate answer, especially when we are going through difficult times. But waiting, although painful, is a transformative process. The Bible teaches us that often, the waiting time is necessary so that we can mature and strengthen ourselves in faith. Consider the example of Abraham, who waited years for God's promise to be the father of a great nation. During that time, he made mistakes and failed in his trust. But God's promise did not fail. The wait was not in vain. Abraham was forged in faith, and when the promise was fulfilled, he was ready to receive it. In waiting, patience is cultivated. When God makes us wait, he is shaping our character to prepare us for the answer. Growth in adversity. We grow through adversity. Often, it is the most difficult times that forge us for something greater. When we are being tested, when we face the greatest struggles, that is when our faith is strengthened. The Apostle Paul, in his letters, speaks about suffering and how it produces perseverance, character, and hope. He wrote, "We know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and the approved character, hope." Adversity is not just a painful phase of life, but a school where we learn to depend completely on God. The faith that grows in adversity is the strongest faith, because it is tested and purified by fire. Adversity is not an obstacle, it is an opportunity to see your faith flourish. When the silence breaks, God may be silent, but that doesn't mean he isn't listening or answering. Often, the answer comes when we least expect it. As the psalmist wrote, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry." The moment of silence precedes God's answer, and when he speaks, his answer is transformative. Often, God's answer comes unexpectedly, but it brings with it the perfect solution to our problem. When God breaks the silence, he not only answers our prayers, but guides us to a new level of faith and trust. The silence of God is an invitation to trust. When he finally speaks, he guides us to a future full of purpose and hope. Faith beyond silence. True faith is not based on quick answers or immediate blessings. It is grounded in what we cannot see and what we cannot understand. When we face moments of silence, we are being called to trust in God, even when he does not answer in the way we expect. The faith that grows in darkness is the one that never gives up, that continues to believe, even when everything around seems to point to the contrary. Faith is like a flame that remains lit, even in the darkest nights. When silence challenges you, remember, faith is stronger when it grows in darkness. Trust, keep hoping, and see how your faith will flourish. If you are going through a period of silence, don't be discouraged. Your faith is being shaped, and soon you will see the fruits of this time. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that God never abandons us, even in silence. Let's grow together in faith, trust, and hope.